Welcome back to the show, ladies and gentlemen. In this one, we'll be diving deep into chapter 221. So, at the ending of chapter 220, Kang had just defeated the illusion of Johi and was angry at Tulpa, saying when he meets him, he better be prepared. So, we're entering to chapter 221 right now. We get a small recap of Kang throwing the punch and destroying the whole place and sending the threat to Tulpa. And as we said before, Tulpa is not smiling. He's completely serious now. And we are taking back to the fight between Basilov and the two Inhumans. Sarah rushes forward, aiming to hit Basilov once again. Basilov looks towards him. We see some impact. Basilov stops the knife in its tracks. No movement from it. He says to Sarah, just because you stabbed me in the back one time, now you think you're a big shot. And Sarah looks astounded that Basilov was able to stop his blade with his bare arms. But this face doesn't really look like Sarah to me. Am I tripping? This doesn't look like Sarah or Moranja. Looks like a whole different Inhuman. So Basilov shouts, "You idiot!" and punches down on Sarah. But just as he punches down, an attack comes from a blind spot, his right side. A knee rocks his face. His face sinks in and another punch is coming down. Bang! Straight on his head. Moranja is not smiling himself. He's not even excited. His face is just a picture of calmness. But seems like the punch didn't even land. Basilov caught it from behind. His aura farming. Okay, not from behind. Okay, seems like he actually landed safe. But instead of falling to the ground, Basilov holds his arm, the arm that just hit him, and stands his ground. He doesn't fall. He says, was that supposed to be a punch? Oh my, Basilov is too crazy. And Moranja is shocked now as Basilov loads an attack, flying straight onto his face. Clouds of smoke goes up and Moranja is seen limp on the floor, bleeding out. One punch had sent him almost packing, if not packed up straight. And Sarah too is on the floor, on his knees, dripping, bleeding out. Oh, with that punch Basilov threw, Moranja's arm was ripped off. He held Moranja's arm while he connected that punch and ripped it off completely. He says, "What the hell?" and throws the arm on the ground. Two Inhumans by his sides. One limb, one on his knees, and Basilov is still standing. How much aura is this? Like, he just let the arm fall to the ground. No cap. Basilov is aura farming here, man. All the aura he's lost, he's gaining it back. He says, "These pathetic little rats. Look at this, his eyes shining red. If before his eyes that were shining green were because of illusions, now his eyes shining red is because of his anger. The illusions are probably not a factor now." He says, "Is that all you had when you came at me?" And next thing, another illusion comes forward again. It's Daphne Bayleaf, the healer of the team. She calls out to him, "Basilov." He looks towards her and now his eyes are green again. He starts talking some rubbish like, "Oh, you're right. After wandering around for a while, I heard battle sounds and came here." Basilov is thinking, again? I'm not going to fall for this again. Daphne says, "The wound, let me take a look." And now he's really contemplating if this is another illusion or not. He's asking whose side is she on. And just then another illusion also comes forward. This guy is Chisaki. He says, "Oh, it's the fat old guy." Basilov is shocked too. So many, like everyone from his team is appearing now. Tulpa is going all out to make sure he drops Basilov. Everyone's coming out saying his name, Basilov, Maxim. Everyone all around him, all his team have now appeared. And now we get to see a saying, probably from Tulpa, says, as you wish to interpret it, the freedom of an intelligent being." The next thing we see Basilov's old companion, I think it's Kaiser, right? I don't remember his name really, but it was like my first video I made about Superhuman Era. I found this guy, right? But he's like a lightning user or something like that, completely strong, but he got beaten way before and turned into an Inhuman. No, he wasn't turned into an Inhuman, right? He was this guy, Evan, if that's his name. Is it Dave or Evan? I'm forgetting these names. It was Dev Evan that like turned him into it's something. Let me just call it Enomu. You know that guy that can revive people that are dead, that brought Witro back. I think it was him that controlled this guy. So Basilov's old friend says, "Mr. Basilov," while smiling. Now Basilov he's about to break. From his eyes, he's about to break. His old friend starts laughing. "Ha ha ha. Are you scowling again? I'll listen, so tell me, what unfair thing happened this time?" Oh yeah, and the guy's name is Kalen, not Kaiser. Now Basilov wishes this is true. It feels like he's standing in a field of flowers, remembering his time with his friend, Kalen. He says, "Sending you back alone was my mistake." And we cut back to the scene just before Kalen was dropped off. In the scene, Kalen says, "I'll take down the boss." And next scene was when him and Basilov were fighting. When the superhumans were fighting against Dave, Kalen told him, "Don't remember who you are. Forgive me," with his eyes being strange. And while Basilov is reminiscing, Tulpa says, "How touching." This guy has no heart, man. He has no heart. For real. Tulpa says, "I'll start by taking care of the one consumed by the hallucination." Here, and we cut back to where Basilov takes an uppercut from Kalen, and Kalen morphs into his real form, and the illusions start breaking off, and we see the Inhumans' real forms. Kalen turns into some kind of a blue monster. Withrow turns into something else. Chisaki too. Nangi. Oh no. All the others, they've taken their Inhuman forms now. So let's see, that's how many against 1? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's 7 against 1. Wait, plus those extra 2, Basilov already defeated, but are still alive, kind of. That's like 9v1. Can Basilov survive this? Anyway, we get back to Morphe Opus, where Chalitafu and Yuko now. Chalitafu says Tulpa feeds on fragments of their enemy's lifetime. They can perceive it all without any distortion. Literally all your memories and everything, he can perceive it and feed on it and actually use it against you. And Yuko is thinking to see through things thoroughly. Chalitafu continues, he says from deep-seated traumas and altered memories to distant recollections hidden deep in the subconscious. By relentlessly attacking these psychological blind spots, you eventually end up being swallowed by the hallucination and becoming part of Duat Labyrinth. Okay, is that what happened to all these Inhumans? Maybe they weren't originally under him, but he grinded them down with hallucinations until they became his puppets. So Tulpa is really dangerous, and this is Duat Labyrinth. He's unescapable, nigh unescapable. Wow, he's really heavy. He's a heavy hitter for real. He's a heavyweight. And Chalitafu keeps going. He says, trapped in an endless struggle with an assassin disguised as an illusion. The ultimate end of these intruders. That's it exactly. That's how Chalitafu controlled all these Inhumans. Guy is really dangerous for real. And so how did Chalitafu escape when he entered? That means he's super strong, but Chalitafu is super strong. Chalitafu says, a rather absurd and one-sided cycle. Then Yukon intercepts and says, but the one who finally put a stop to that relentless cycle of absolute victory was Lord Chalitafu. And they changed the name again to Lord Chalitafu. Damn, no aura in that name. Hey, forgive me if that's a real name though. And Chalitafu goes on again. Every intruder in Duat Labyrinth except me eventually became a mummy disguised as an illusion, becoming the history of that opus. And to this day, the maze of the Duat Labyrinth has not collapsed, so no one has ever completely defeated it actually. So is that trying to say, is Chalitafu trying to imply that he escaped and didn't actually beat Tulpa? And this is still Chalitafu going on. He says, I will watch Tulpa. And we cut Tulpa. I can't understand his form. Like, what is he actually? Is he just a floating something? What is he? I just see a head and something floating. Looks sinister. Tafu says, white cap superhuman. I wonder how well you will hold your own against that monster. Chalitafu, this monster that single-handedly beat Yang and Kirillov together without breaking a sweat, he was still holding his books. Actually, that monster that beat them is calling Tulpa a monster. You see the degree of evil Tulpa is on, where a monster is calling him a monster. That's crazy. Anyway, enough with the Duat Labyrinth. We go to the underwater opus, Atlan, where Withrow, Chisaki and Daphne, I think Yang is also there. Right now they're escaping from the underwater creatures, the underwater Inhumans, still holding their breath. They've been holding their breath this whole time. Imagine that situation. You can't even muster your full strength. Withrow says this can't go on. So with one move on his hand, he crystallizes the liquid around them. Chisaki is thinking, there's ice walls everywhere. Is that Withrow? Oh, they call him withdraw here.
But what the hell?
They're calling Withrow withdraw. Who? I need to know who this translator is for real. Let me go knocking on him. Daphne is thinking now that Withrow has set up a cylindrical barrier. Then, now the time out of the water. Phew, with all their power, everyone rushes towards the surface of the water. And that's where the chapter ends. Do you think they'll be able to escape successfully from the underwater opus, Atlan? Or do you think their plans will be impeded by someone, by an Inhuman? We haven't actually seen the main heavy hitter Inhuman of the underwater opus, Atlan. I wonder who it is. It might be Tobion, the water transporter of the Inhumans. Anyway, if you're liking this series, like and do all of the subscribe and stuff. Band crew, we out of here. Let's follow Withrow out of here. Ciao.